Happy Monday to you. Believe it or not, already, man, the weekend went by really fast, Mother's Day weekend, and I hope yours went well. 76 degrees outside today, but looking like it's going to be pretty toasty in our city. I don't know how yours is going to be, but I'm looking at 104 today. It was about that yesterday. I don't know if it was 104, 105, 106, something like that, but yeah. And what is it? May 10th now? Yeah. It's weird because then occasionally we'll get like a cold day or cold in at least in terms of 80s, you know. But hope your day's going well. Let's kick off the week right. My name's Al Gavada, and today we're going to be talking about success. Kind of. It's more of the article's title is Four Things That'll Detour Your Success by Terry Nicole Harrison. So watch out for these four things, all right? Four things that'll detour your success. We're living in the success age when the need for achievement and the pursuit of wealth have become both obsessive and mainstream. And the conversation about success lingers everywhere we go, everywhere we look. TV, social media, self-help books, magazines, gurus, experts, right? But the biggest threat to our achievement lies inside us. Good morning, Brian. It's those self-defeating habits waiting to reroute us in the wrong direction. As an entrepreneur, the article continues, I know all too well about those thoughts and habits that threaten to keep us from success. It says, I've summarized four common roadblocks that can stop you from getting to your ultimate destination, that being success, right? Are you ready to navigate your way around these major obstacles? You can do it. Buckle up and be vigilant. Success is waiting just around the corner and just past these obstacles, all right? So here we go. Four things that'll detour your success. Number one, perception. Perception is a lens from which you see, and I've talked about this before. It is how you perceive yourself and your potential, your ability to succeed. And it encompasses these age-old questions. Who are you? What is your purpose? What were you created to do? These are big, the big, bold questions, right? All caps, bold, underlined, highlighted questions. Who are you? What is your purpose? What were you created to do? Is your outlook grand enough to support your goals? Is how you view your potential in alignment with your agenda? We've talked about alignment before as well. Remember, when your perspective is flawed, doesn't mean you're flawed, your perspective is flawed, your success is. Elevate your perception. Let it be an asset, and this may sound familiar to anybody who's been watching my videos for a while. Let it be an asset, not a roadblock. Roadblocks. Don't let a speed bump become a roadblock. I saw in my memories today a talk I gave, a little Facebook Live I did a couple years ago, where it talks about letting speed bumps become roadblocks, and don't let them. That's a perception of what obstacle is in your way, gaining more power than it actually has over you. I've given the example of when they tie horses to, whatever, to keep them from going anywhere, then after a while they're so used to it that any little resistance makes them believe, they perceive they can no longer go anywhere. So they can literally just, lay it on a branch, a little sapling or a plastic chair or whatever, and the horse feels a tiny bit of resistance, and the perception is already ingrained to them that resistance is far greater than what it actually is, and they give up. They could just as easily walk away from the sapling, walk away from that little plastic chair, from you holding them. You know what I mean? But that perception keeps them there. And we talk about that. Who are you? What is your purpose? What were you created to do? What have you discovered about yourself that tells you the answer to those questions? Who are you is a big one. Who are you? How do you define yourself? How do you perceive yourself? Number two, what is your purpose? What are you here to do? Literally, what were you created to do? These questions actually have to be answered looking inward. Introspection for these. Perception is a lens from which you see, and that perception lens is built from your life experiences. From the very beginning that you remember, even stuff that you don't remember, but it shaped you to today. So, number one, perception. 4 things that'll detour your success. Number two, confusion. Confusion is about clearly understanding what you want and how to get it. Do you understand that? Do you understand what you want clearly? And do you understand clearly how to get it? The steps you need to take forward, because knowing what you really want is the only way to get it. Sustainable success never happens without a GPS. You have to know how to get where you're going, or your ambitions will get lost. Like when we sit down and talk to family about money, right? It's like, this is a GPS. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be financially? Okay, that's point B, but what's point A? Where are you now? You know what you want, but you need to know where you are now, and then we figure out how to get where you need to get to, right? That GPS. You have to know how to get to where you're going, or your ambitions will get lost. What are your ambitions? It's that confusion. Clearly understanding what you want and how to get it. In between there is, what are you willing to do to get it, right? Legally, obviously. It says, quote, it's a lack of clarity that creates chaos and frustration. Those emotions are poison to any living goal. This is a best-selling author and motivational speaker, Dr. Steve Maraboli. So, are you clear on where you're going? Do you know how to get there? It doesn't matter what, like, chapter you are in your life. If you're just starting, you're young, you're just getting ready to finish high school. You're young, you just got into college, or getting ready to finish in college in a while, or whatever. Or maybe you didn't go to college. And a lot of us didn't. I went for a little bit. But you decided to work, or circumstances led you. That's the only thing I can do right now. I have to provide for my family. Where are you going? What is your ultimate goal? And is your whatever you consider to be your ultimate goal, and this is also very, very much tied into perception, right? Is what you currently figure your ultimate goal to be big enough? Is what you have as your destination large enough to sustain you and your family for the remainder of your lives? Or do you need to get bigger? Get clear on where you're going, and then figure out how to get there. And more than anything, it's more like, you know what, I want that, and just start working towards it. The how usually works itself out. Why? Because you're telling the universe, the unknown substance in the universe, this is what I want, and it starts working to making sure to get it to you, right? Things start working. You're not taking anything from anybody else. You're working towards what you want. You're declaring it. You want it. Read The Science of Getting Rich. It's all in there. It's a very interesting book. Kind of out there. not gonna lie. So number 2, confusion on the 4 things that'll detour your success. Confusion. The article is by Terry Nicole Harrison. Number 3, emotion. This is a good one. Emotions can be syrupy sweet and incredibly beautiful, but they can also be turbulent and quite disruptive. It's not so much the highs and lows, it's the in-between that can wreak havoc on your success. Why? Having aspirations, meaning you want more. You have goals, right? Having aspirations doesn't always mean you actually want to do the work to reach them. How many times have you allowed emotion to dictate what you do and what you don't? How often have you procrastinated, guilty, or flat out failed to take action just because you didn't feel like it. Take action daily. Sounds familiar. Whether you feel like it or not. Hang on. Louder for the people in the back. Take action daily, whether you feel like it or not. Be intentional, and at all costs, be constantly aware of your emotions. Control them so they don't control you. The person who loses their temper in an argument usually is already lost. Be constantly aware of your emotions. Control them so they don't control you. Imagine that. Wow. Controlling your emotions. Having aspirations doesn't always mean you actually want to do the work to reach them. Yikes. Allowing emotion to dictate what you do and what you don't do. Procrastinating or failing to take action just because I don't feel like it. Feelings. Well, all right, imagine the feeling when you reach your goal or achieve your success. Imagine that feeling and hold on to that. Use that as your fuel. So emotion, number 3 on the 4 things that'll detour your success. Number 4, big 4. Freedom is number 4. What do you mean freedom? Why is freedom something that'll detour my success? If I have freedom, I can do what needs to be done and achieve my goals. Freedom encompasses many things, but at its core, it represents the ability to make a choice. Freedom of choice. It is one of your most precious assets. Hold on to it dearly. However, it is often improperly and poorly used. Most people can't handle freedom because what? Why do you think most people can't handle freedom? Because it requires a high level of discipline. Why do you go to work, clock in at a certain time? You have to get there because you have to get there at that time. And you have to take your lunch, bathroom breaks, and then get out at this time because you can't go over your hours. It affects our productivity ratios or whatever. Why is that? That's structure. And a lot of people fall into the comfort of the structure. Just, it's one less thing to worry about. Freedom, most people can't handle it because it requires a high level of discipline. When you put freedom in the hands of an undisciplined person, dysfunction ensues. The inability to manage freedom can lead to what? Unwise decisions, poor thinking, and success-killing habits. Success-killing habits. Wow. This type of self-oppressive behavior will turn freedom into an imprisonment of mediocrity. Terry is coming with the fire on this article. Terry Nicole Harrison. Wow. I don't need to read that whole little paragraph again. When you put freedom in the hands of an undisciplined person, dysfunction ensues. The inability to manage freedom can lead to unwise decisions, poor thinking, and success-killing habits. This type of self-oppressive behavior will turn freedom into an imprisonment of mediocrity. Man, that is honestly one of the most powerful paragraphs I have ever read since I started doing these lives. Get ready to play defense against this self-defeating habit and put on your full armor to overcome these obstacles. If nothing else, be prepared to enlarge your vision and transform your thinking. It's your time. It's your time. Now is your time. What have you been waiting for? This is it. Have you been waiting? Here we go. Your time. Let's get started. So again, to what the heck? Repeat, reiterate. Okay, I just couldn't find the word. Let's go over the four things that'll detour your success from success.com. I'm going to put the link on the comment section here. And I put the wrong thing on the comment section. So let me, here we go. All right. So the four things there that'll detour your success. Number one, perception, the lens from which you see. Confusion, not clearly understanding what you want and how to get it. Emotion, don't let them be in control of you. You control them. And number four, freedom. Yikes. Freedom can turn into an imprisonment of mediocrity. Oh, man. This article was awesome. There you go. Terry Nicole Harrison. That'll do it for us today. Oh, my gosh. It's a Monday. We can start off our work week. I wish you a couple of things today. Besides joy, success, and happiness. Again, and this is something I wish quite often, is clarity. I wish you clarity, because I think sometimes we get moments of clarity or little glimpses of clarity. But I wish you clarity, clear vision into what you want, right? What do you want? And how to get it. So that clarity is really focusing through your perception and eradicating the confusion in your mind, controlling your emotion, and controlling your freedom. So that's the one thing I wish you today, clarity, along with joy, success, and happiness. I should be back on Wednesday at around the same time. That's a plan. So remember, till next time, knowledge is power, imagination is king, and intelligence your weapon. Read a good book today and enrich your mind. And above all, take action. My name is Al Guevara. You can find me on YouTube. Do a search for AlgaeMan1, ALGAEMAN, and the number 1, AlgaeMan1 on YouTube. Check out all these videos. Share it. Let's spread this content to help change lives for the better. Until the next time, we'll be talking.